Hello, 5th grade. This is Mr. Sharp, and these are your instructions for your introduction to rights. So, in social studies, we're going to study how the U.S. government formed, and we're going to use that to study the ideas of how people come to agree on governments and laws and things like that. And so we're actually not going to directly start with the U.S. government, although we will get to it pretty quick. We're going to start with just kind of what you guys think. And the very first topic is rights. There's lots of topics to talk about, and when I was doing research, everything said you got to start with rights. So, a right in the political sense is an activity that a government cannot make illegal. You have the right to do it means that you cannot go to jail for doing it. So I have an example for you. This is a right. Everyone has the freedom to say and write what they like without fear of going to jail. This is what people mean when they say freedom of speech. It's probably the most popular right. It's the one that most people think of, and that's why I thought I should use it for the example. This is not a right. Everyone should give me 1,000 NTD every Tuesday. Now, if you look at the first one, it says that you just have the freedom to say and write anything. It doesn't say that you should do it. We stayed away from should words in it, right? It's an activity. You are allowed to do the activity of speaking and writing. Giving one person 1,000 NTD is an activity, but it's not really, an activity for everyone. It's just kind of like, oh, go on a line and give money to that one guy. Generally, rights are not going to be about, or in laws in general, are not going to be about one person. It's going to have to be something that can be applied across to everybody. Now, when I was reading, I thought that this was very interesting. It came from a website called Crooked Timber, and the guy was writing about, I assume it's a guy, maybe a girl, was writing about teaching this very subject. And he wrote, basic liberties, freedom of conscience, religion, expression, association, and the rights to participate in public and political life, as well as the liberties associated with psychological and physical integrity of the person must be guaranteed to all. He brought this up as something that most democratic countries agree on. They tend to have these elements. So looking at that and trying to turn it into some categories for us to use, I came up with 6. So I think that we can have rights. I don't want to show the next part yet. I want to, thinking of rights that we can come up with, let's try to come up with rights that have to do with decision making, beliefs, expressing yourself, forming groups, public life, that could be voting, trials. If you get arrested, you can go to trial and see a judge, paying taxes, all the stuff where a person has to deal with the government. Mental and physical well-being, so staying healthy, things like that. And my right that I used in my example, freedom of speech, could be about decision making. It's mostly about expressing yourself. So, for the activity today, you're going to think about activities that you think the government shouldn't make illegal. You will come up with 10 rights and put them into the right categories. And so you can see I put everyone has the freedom to say and write what they like under expressing yourself. I didn't add without fear of going to jail, because that's every right. Every right is you have the right to do that without going to jail. Now you need to come up with 10 total, not 10 for number 1. If you do 2 for number 1, let's change that. Everyone has the freedom to. Everyone has the freedom to. If you do that, maybe you have 2 here. Maybe you have 1 about beliefs. I had one about expressing yourself. Maybe I come up with a different one about expressing yourself. Maybe you don't think of any about forming groups, but then maybe you think of 3. Oh, it doesn't like me doing that, does it? Okay. Maybe you come up with 3 for public life. Here, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. And then you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you got to come up with 2 more. Maybe you come up with, 2 related to mental well-being. You don't have to start every sentence with "everyone has the freedom to," but it's an easy way to do this. So your 10 can be in any category. It will be very difficult to write 10 in one category. You're probably starting to get silly if you do this. That's what I did here. If you try to do 10 rights in one category, you might end up like this, expressing yourself. Everyone's free to paint. Everyone's free to make sandcastles. Everyone's free to make videos. Everyone is free to take other people's videos and cut them up and make statues. A lot of these that I made up, you could just say as like, everyone is free to make art. You're allowed to say and write what you like. Everyone has the freedom to make art. And that's a simple way to do it. If you want to challenge yourself and try to do a whole lot in one category, you can. It's going to be much easier if you just do like 2 in each category, and then if one of the categories is hard, you just do 1 in that category. So like forming groups, maybe you talk about everyone has the right to make a political party, or everybody has the right to have meetings without being bothered. Public life, everyone has the right to, not give all their money to the government, or everybody has the right to choose their leader, or everyone has the right to try to be the leader. Something like that. And that will be in Seesaw. You can see I have it here. And you can just go under the category that I made and type your ideas there. Okay, that'll get us started. I should tell you now, your second assignment today is you'll have these same 6 categories, and you're going to look at the American Bill of Rights and then see how those rights go into these categories. But that's second. That's the assignment after this one. For now, you're just going to see what you come up with. What do you think is something that the government should not make illegal? Good luck, guys. I'll talk to you later.